Have you ever wondered how ancient secrets are woven into the fabric of our modern lives? What if I told you that the digital device in your hand is a product of ideas that were born thousands of years ago? Imagine a time when each day was a struggle for survival. Our ancestors crafted the first tools, laying the foundation for everything that followed. How do you think our lives today would change if we hadn't developed tools? Today, we're not just going through history, we're going on an adventure across millennia. From the first footsteps of humankind to the hyper-connected digital age, we'll discover the incredible milestones that shaped our world. Why did civilizations rise and fall? How did ancient ideas set the stage for today's technology? Strap in, because this journey through time is going to be a wild ride. Hit that subscribe button and let's unravel the mysteries of human civilization together. Let's begin from where it all started. Over 6 million years ago, where the story of humanity started with our earliest ancestors, the hominins. This vast continent, with its diverse landscapes, was the stage for a pivotal evolution. This wasn't just a physical transformation, it was a cognitive revolution. With these changes, the brain began to grow. Larger brains led to more complex thoughts, communication, and eventually the development of cultures. But what drove this unprecedented evolution? Some scientists believe that climate changes, which transformed the African landscape from dense forests to open savannas, played a key role. Imagine the challenges faced by our ancestors as their familiar forest homes transformed, forcing them to venture into open lands. This new world was tough, but it was also a land of opportunities. As they spread across Africa, these early humans learned to harness resources. They developed stone tools, which were their first technological invention. Tools like the hand axe weren't just used for butchering animals, but were crucial for digging, cutting, and scraping. But how did these tool makers communicate? While they hadn't yet developed a spoken language, evidence suggests they used a complex system of gestures, expressions, and perhaps early vocal sounds to work together and share knowledge. This cooperation was key to their survival. By working together, early humans could hunt more effectively, protect each other, and share food, which may have helped them nurture their young longer. As we venture further into our journey through time, we find ourselves around 3500 BCE, a period when humanity was on the brink of a monumental transformation. These civilizations did not arise in isolation. They were nurtured by rivers that provided the resources necessary for complex societies to flourish. First in Mesopotamia, with the Tigris and Euphrates, followed by the Nile in Egypt, the Indus in South Asia, and the Yellow River in China. What made these locations ideal for the birth of civilization? The regular flooding of these rivers deposited rich soil, which allowed for surplus agriculture. This surplus was the key. It freed people from the constant search for food, allowing them to pursue other activities and develop diverse professions. With food surpluses, cities grew and societies became more complex. Social hierarchies developed, professions diversified, and with them, trade expanded both locally and with distant lands. But how did these societies organize themselves? This is where writing comes into play. In Mesopotamia, for instance, cuneiform began as a way to record transactions and manage the economy. Similarly, hieroglyphics in Egypt evolved not only to record economic transactions, but also to commemorate pharaohs and deities, ensuring their place in history. Religion was a cornerstone of these civilizations, intimately tied to their leadership and government. Temples were both religious and economic centers, symbolizing the power of the gods and their earthly representatives. These early civilizations also made significant advancements in technology and engineering. The pyramids of Egypt, the water systems of the Indus Valley, and the defensive walls of ancient Chinese cities showcase remarkable ingenuity. Among the earliest surviving written religious scriptures is the Egyptian pyramid text, the oldest of which date to between 2400 and 2300 BCE. Through resilience and innovation, these civilizations laid the foundational stones of human culture and technology. As we moved westward, the classical world of Greece and Rome shaped philosophies and political systems. In Athens, democracy was born, a radical idea that power could be in the hands of the many, not just the few. Following the Greeks, the Romans took these ideas and expanded them into a republic that eventually morphed into an empire. Their roads, aqueducts, and legal systems are still the foundation of many modern administrative and infrastructural norms. After the fall of Rome, Europe entered the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages, often called the medieval period, began with the fall of the Roman Empire. As Europe splintered into various feudal kingdoms, life became centered around agriculture, warfare, and the manorial system. The power of the Church ascended, dominating the spiritual and cultural life of Europe. As the Middle Ages progressed, Europe saw the rise of trade and towns. The Hanseatic League, an alliance of trading cities, fostered economic growth across the continent, paving the way for the resurgence of learning and the arts. But the era was also marked by adversity. The Black Plague decimated Europe's population, leading to social upheavals and economic decline. Yet, it also caused shifts in power dynamics, eventually contributing to the rise of the merchant class and the weakening of feudalism. Out of the turmoil of the Middle Ages emerged the Renaissance, a period of rebirth in art, science, and thought. Centered initially in Italy, the Renaissance rekindled the lights of classical knowledge, guided by the philosophy of humanism, which emphasized the potential and value of human life. The Middle Ages and the Renaissance were not just times of darkness or light, but were periods of deep change and incredible innovation. Let's set sail on a journey to the age of exploration and colonization, a period that reshaped continents and defined the future of nations. The Age of Exploration set the stage for what would become a series of global colonization efforts. As European navigators discovered new lands, the powers of the day saw unprecedented opportunities for expansion, wealth, and influence. From the 16th century onwards, European nations, including Spain, Portugal, Britain, France, and the Netherlands, established colonies across the Americas, Africa, and Asia. These colonies were not just settlements, but were part of larger strategies for economic domination and cultural influence. The arrival of Europeans had a dramatic impact on indigenous populations. While there were instances of cooperation and mutual benefit, many native societies were subjected to conquest, displacement, and devastating epidemics due to introduced diseases. In ancient Egypt, civilization flourished along the Nile River. The Egyptians excelled in engineering, art, and medicine, influencing their neighbors through trade and conquest. Their monumental architecture and detailed knowledge of the afterlife fascinated and inspired the cultures around them. To the north, the Phoenicians, renowned seafarers and traders, established colonies across the Mediterranean. Their most enduring legacy, the alphabet, which they spread to other cultures including the Greeks and Romans, profoundly impacted the development of Western literacy. In Greece, the concept of democracy took root in city-states like Athens. Philosophers such as Plato and Aristotle pondered questions of existence and ethics, laying the groundwork for Western philosophy. Greek art and architecture celebrated human achievement and beauty, ideals that deeply influenced Roman culture. The Mediterranean was not just a body of water, it was a highway that facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and traditions. These interactions bred a remarkable cultural diversity, which in turn spurred innovations that are cornerstones of modern civilization.